I know so many people that have done everything right in life. You understand? Just like when I was entering UB, I had one of my teachers. He was always telling us, if you don't drink 3 liters of water every day, if you don't do this one, you will never even reach 50 years. You understand? When I just enter UB, second semester, first year, that man was no, he died.
He died.
Yes, I'm very serious. I was like, and that's the reason why somebody told me that most of the people that are involved in rituals and the rest that are rich today, they were already destined to be rich.
Exactly. Yeah. Chances is a fix. You know, like people did maths, right?
Yeah.
There's a constant. Yeah. Which is already there. If you say x and then there's two in the other place. Mm-hmm. X plus 2 give us 2x this way. Yeah. If you put now maybe
hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
X plus 2 give us 2x this way. Yeah.
If
Hello guys, welcome back to the Fields and Friends podcast. Here we'll discuss about studies and we'll discuss about social lives as we are friends in the Faculty of Agriculture. On set we have...
I'm Botame Peter.
I'm Joshua.
Mary Noella.
So the topic of today is going to be about luck. We have had a very lengthy discussion about this topic before we came on set, so it's going to be like a continuation of that. So the topic is, does luck actually exist? So Peter, what do you think?
I'll allow Joshua to first of all try to give us the definition of luck.
Well, luck is, a success or failure apparently brought by chances rather than one's own action.
I get it.
Success or failure apparently brought by chance. Somebody did not contribute to making it happen.
Okay.
So it means you cannot work for luck.
You can't work for luck. You can't deserve luck.
You can't deserve luck.
From the definition, there's nothing you can do to prepare luck.
Why?
That's the
said-
definition there.
That's it.
No, listen to something. I want to understand. Okay. If that's how you see luck, then does luck exist?
That's not how I see love. That's the definition of God from
Okay,
us.
that's the definition.
Yeah.
Does luck exist?
Personally, when we talk about love,
Luck. Say love.
when we talk about love, right, excuse me. When we talk about love, a lot of people perceive this strange force that just happens like that. Some people think it's a kind of superstitious thing. Okay, I'm not just go. If I happen to be lucky, we'll get this contract. But I believe in that strange force, but I don't believe it's called love. I really rather believe it's called grace.
Okay.
I believe there is a supernatural entity that has programmed and make things happen. Now, if you allow me to drag you a little bit into my point of view, you realize that the Bible, permitting to quote that holy book, it says that in the book of Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, that by faith we'll understand that the world was framed by the word of God in such a way that what appears was not made of things which are seen. So it means that if you're going through life, there are certain things that are going to appear to you. Those things that appear to you that can be called luck and chances are not made of things which are seen. But it means that they are made. It means they are programmed to happen.
Okay.
2 Corinthians 4:18 tells us, why we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are unseen. For the things which are seen, they are temporal, and the things which are unseen, they are eternal. It means that if you just focus yourself on things which you can behold, things which your eyes can relate with, those things were made up of an unseen reality. So luck, which appears to be just a hazard, just something that happens like that, was made of something that's not tangible. So yes, I agree that there is something that can make someone fortunate, but I believe that thing was programmed from an inexistent reality or an unseen reality. And if you get to understand the parameters by which that unseen reality was, you can begin to program yourself to be lucky. That's my point of view. That's my stand.
Okay, so if I get you clearly, you are trying to say that before something happens physically, it must have happened in the spiritual. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to look at it from this spiritual angle, you know that there are different religions, different people with different beliefs. I was saying earlier that Christians say grace. You understand? They say, there's nothing like luck. Most Christians, they say there's nothing like luck, that there's grace, and that the grace of God covers also. But asking a question, or I have a question. I was like, okay, what about an atheist? Somebody that does not believe in God, does not believe in grace, does not believe in anything. Understand? And he finds himself on the side of good fortune. What would you call that?
Now, one man once said something, a great man in the time, one of the greatest histories in the stories of humanity, the great King Solomon. I would really love to read that passage. So that I'm not reading it on the context of Christianity, though. I'm not reading it because I'm a Christian. This was a man that the whole world at large acknowledged should be a man of wisdom. So I want us to fetch from the depths of his wisdom.
All right.
He says in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11, he says, I have observed something in this world of ours. Oh, I love this guy. He says, the fastest runner does not always win the race.
Mm-hmm.
And the strongest warrior does not always win the battle. Who won the match of Francis Ngannou?
I watch.
Okay.
Bedi.
Exactly. I mean, it's coming to what I'm talking about.
Was he lucky or unlucky?
Well, coming. Yes.
Why?
He said the wise are often poor, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy. I mean, does this seem to relate to the world we're living in?
Yeah.
It doesn't just appear to be Christian reality.
Yeah.
It seems to relate in the world we're living in.
Yeah.
Now, he says, and those who are educated don't always lead successful lives.
Okay.
It is all decided by chance, right? That's a
Okay.
comma. And the section is going to explain what it means by chance.
Okay.
It says by being at the right place at the right time.
Okay.
By being at the right place at the right time. So that's how he explains chance to be. The ability to be at the right place
And at the right time.
at the right time.
And how can you be at the right place at the right
Now,
time?
before I come to that, I want to say something. Being at the right place at the right time means something was premeditated.
Okay.
Now, we're talking about this unseen reality.
Okay.
Okay.
It means something was premeditated. It means that someone decided that if Peter happens to be here, if he can only find his way in this scene, this day, he's going to make it.
Okay.
But if it happens that you're not at that point, you say, hey, if only I knew. Had I known. It means that,
So it means you are saying me going to the place to be there at the right time and the right place means I premeditated it.
not
so is
necessarily
that luck?
you. Not necessarily
No,
you.
that's
Not
what we're
necessarily
saying.
you. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
saying that you premeditated it. It was
Okay.
premeditated by someone. Now, you ask something with regards to religion. I am not tying luck to religion, to a particular religion per se. I'm telling you to the realm of the spirits. We are in Africa. We cannot deny.
How are you going to know that you are supposed to be at that
Now,
place
what
at
I
a
want to
particular
tell
time?
ultimately is that there are people who decide whether they want to be lucky or not. There are people
Yes.
who can plan their lives
Oh.
by having influence, get to me, on the realm of the spirit.
Okay.
Some people can influence spiritual realities.
Okay.
Now, it's only you who thinks that to win an election you have to be popular.
Okay.
But we know our politicians don't just go that route. think about it. We know you are the one who think that you need to do business to go to the market and be selling tomatoes. But we know not all the women sitting in the market are pure. We know it's not just about opening a shop and doing marketing. We know there are some agents behind the scene. So what I want to say is, my stand about law is that if you have proper understanding of how the world functions and how the realm of the spirit operates, you can program and predict your law.
Okay, what about somebody moving and living his life without having a concept about the realm of the spirit? How does he?
I've been asking that question here since
No,
the
somebody
beginning.
who has no
You
concept.
listen. You have turned us around, but you have not really. I don't know if you have really answered. He's asking the same question I asked. What about somebody who is an atheist, does not have anything to do with this, does not believe in the spirit, believes in science? And by the way, let me also tell you, they say I hear people say science and religion does not go because most of the things that religion says, science contradicts. And you know that luck has been scientifically proven. Yes.
Now, my personal point is that the two merge together. Science is just discovering what. Not all religion, personally, but from my standpoint, science is just discovering the handiwork of God. So there is nothing new that
I don't agree.
I'm telling you, they are just discovering what an eternal being has finished doing.
Look at
Really?
the creation of the earth.
Yeah.
It's on the scientific point of view.
Talk about the
Look
Big
at
Bang Theory.
the creation of the earth.
Yeah, talking about the Big Bang
in the
Theory.
Bible.
God said, "Let there be light." That the Bible said, "The voice of the Lord thunders." If God speaks,
See.
the thunder can create the Big Bang. See, if you want to take me that route, I'm going
See,
to jail.
there's something there's something I don't know when people talk about religion. when people want to talk about religion, I want to talk about how the Bible relates to the creation of the world. They always have something to back up what science have said.
Can I come in there?
Come in,
Yeah. So for me, right, first there's something which we are discussing here, which is I feel like there are double layers to it. One, I don't think that religion or spirituality is unique just to Christians.
Exactly.
So when we're talking about Muslims, Shintoists, all of these other people, they are very spiritual.
They are very spiritual.
I believe I've spoken to a lot of atheists, and when I was out of Cameroon, most people thought I'm an atheist because I asked a lot of questions. But I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious.
Exactly.
That's how I define myself.
Exactly.
Like he's saying, I believe in a supreme being. You might not want to call it God. In Bible, you will call it Obase, whatever you want to call it. And we're calling it Obase even before the white man came with Christianity. So, if I tie the supreme God in the Bible to my Obase, then it makes sense. But if that supreme God is Yahweh and not Obase, then we have a problem. For me,
I get it.
if I'm staying true to my own self. So, I like to hold more to, there is a thread of spirituality that cuts through religion. But there are lots of dogmas that people attach to spirituality, which makes it heavy. But I just stick to the spirituality that cuts across, which is the light for me in religion. But all of those other things like you should wear a veil, not wear a veil, should you kneel down, should communion be in your mouth, should they put the child in a river, should they put in a cup, it does not matter to me. That's religion on the side.
And that's what Joshua was saying.
Now, Joshua, look at a scenario where, okay, let me give you a bunch of scenarios.
Okay,
You get up in the morning, like me, I just had one, I don't know, I can call it an unlucky situation. My phone has fallen inside, how they call this, soap water.
That expensive phone.
Soap water. So I can look at that thing, that experience now as a very unlucky situation.
Okay.
Now, you leave the house, you are going to school, and a car almost hit you, almost. The catchword, almost hit you. What would you call that? You are lucky or it's grace?
No, it depends on the point of view. You can.
No,
you said the car almost knocked me.
Yes.
Almost.
If
So
he
I
had
would
knocked
say,
you, you would have said you're unlucky. You understand?
now I wouldn't have said I'm unlucky.
You would have
Let
said.
me read you another Bible version, just a very short one this time around.
Oh,
Just for you to
Bible.
find out. Romans chapter 9. Say, I love this book. And I don't necessarily have it to agree with me, but this book for me is the foundation of all human reality. It says, so receiving God's promise is not up to us. It says, we can't get it by choosing or working hard for it. It says God will show mercy to anyone he chooses. Now, forget about the God, put it like that supreme being or that boss, anything you want to call it, right? This supreme being, the one who has the ability to control things in the realm of the spirit, will show mercy to whomever he chooses.
So if it doesn't show to you, what do you call that? Is that it's unmerciful to that person, or how
Is that
the person
unlucky?
feels?
Now,
Oh, no.
it is these things which are called that human beings decide to call luck.
Okay.
From my point of view,
I don't know, just to ask, right? Someone said that luck has been scientifically proven. Oh,
Yes.
Can you explain how it was proven, or you just know that it was scientifically proven? You cannot explain.
There's a book called The Luck Factor, where the author, I don't get his name at this point, but he was trying to give like four steps or 4 points that you can start doing to become luckier if you felt like you have been unlucky all your life. So the very first thing that he said is that you need to learn to grab opportunities.
exactly.
Yes, and in grabbing opportunities, you can do 3 things.
Okay.
Number 1, you need to condition yourself to be extroverted. And I'm going to cite an example. You have
Then that's not luck.
calm down.
Okay.
Let me finish, then I'll now tell you what I started laughing.
Calm down.
Now I would like to draw from the experience of 2 persons that might accompany me to a concert, for example. You have one who is introverted, you have another person who is extroverted. The introverted is conditioned to be like somebody that likes quiet environment and all that, you understand? And the extroverted is out there, he likes. So when you go to that concert, for example, and you ask the introverted, how do you see this concert? I ask him, for example, and the introvert will be like, well, there was too much noise, the crowd was too noisy, so I did not really enjoy the singers, but the singers did well. The extrovert will tell you that, oh, the crowd was very excited because the singers were performing very well. Yeah. You realize that the introvert is having a bad experience from that, and the extrovert is having a good experience from it, which now brings us back to this initial point that I said. when you condition yourself to be extroverted, you're out there. It makes it I don't know if yes, it increases your opportunities and stuff, and then it opens your mind. You don't have to be close-minded. Then there's what we call the wealth of luck, right? Still back to this introvertedness. For example, if you are looking for a job and you have a small circle of friends that are unemployed, you understand? There's a slim chance that you have that job.
Yeah.
So and at that point you condition you find yourself being unlucky. But if you are looking for a job and you decide that, oh, I'm going to be taking 10 numbers every week, making connections, going to CDC,
Peter,
going to other places.
Peter, but if you are introverted and you stay at home, and you pick up a job, even still with your friends are not, your friends don't have a job. People are maybe doing Ashanti work, and you're introverted, and somebody just calls you that maybe. So let me just say something. You had some skill in school. Let me not say a skill, but someone said, okay, let me remember this, my friend. Are you in Boya? This job I want to apply for. Maybe you might be very suited for it. Is that not luck?
But I read somewhere that there are two types of luck. Okay. There's random luck and there's forceful luck. Random luck just like happens, like it's spontaneous. The forceful luck is like what you're saying now, that you have to go out and get it. So there's kind of a balance.
But there's also something he said about Solomon, where he was saying it's like you make an effort. And I think that's also the underlying principle of what you are saying.
Yeah. Yes.
You need to make an effort. And for me, there is something which we were discussing earlier on with some friends, and I was telling them about my principle of 3 C's, right? Which is choices, chances, and consequences.
Okay.
So chances is a fix. You know, like people did maths, right?
Yeah.
There's a constant,
Yeah.
which is already there. If you say X and then there's 2 in the other place. X plus 2 give us 2X this way.
Yeah.
If you put now maybe 2X, it will give us. So there's a constant 2 here which are just multiplying by some.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, like, for me in life, it's like a probability table. You know those tables where there's like 1 up, then you put 2 arrows. If you choose this side, it goes this way. You choose this side, it goes this way. That's what God has done for me. I'm just giving my own perspective of how I feel. God has programmed it that if you decide to get up in the morning, this is what will happen. If you decide to sleep, this is what will happen.
Good.
But the choice is in your hand. If you get up or you sleep,
Exactly.
God is not going to, the chance is not going to force you. The chance is not as strong as to force you to get up or not get up. God has given us the free will to decide to get up or not get up. But there are fixed things in that argument that has kept that if you get up, 10,000 francs on the road. If you sleep, hunger, 2 o'clock.
There's still a chance that you can sleep and 10,000 francs to me too.
No, that's another function. And the one that I'm explaining now, God has kept this too. And if in your own function you have those other 2, good for you. It means that your own function is very, very sweet. But the one that I know, it is hunger here.
And let me cut another story from the Bible that was going to line up with that very thing. There was an atheist God, let me say an atheist priest, Hophel, a king, the king of Egypt. This young man had a dream in the night where he saw 7 fat calves eaten by 7 slim ones. And this anointed young man called Joseph came out of the dungeon to interpret and give wisdom to this king. Now, the wisdom was simple. These fat cows are 7 years of abundance, and they are going to be followed by 7 years of misery. Right? This is a situation anyone can find himself into. Do you call the 7 years of abundance luck and the 7 years of misery bad luck? Or you follow the advice of the young evangelist, and during the years of abundance, you save for the years of lack. And at that point, the whole of the world navigated towards Egypt and made Egypt the first superpower in history.
No, but I think just remove Joseph out of the equation.
Okay.
And run the story again. What would have happened?
If we remove Joseph out of the equation, there would have been 7 years of abundance and 7 years of lack, where the whole humanity will have perished.
Yeah, we're not really interested whether humanity would. What would and how do you call that?
I wouldn't call that bad luck. I would call that mismanagement. According to your scientific I would call that foolishness. According to your scientific explanation of luck. You said it can be propelled. You can arrange for it. You know, Solomon said something. He said by being at the right place at the right time. All of us want to meet Bill Gates for an opportunity. Now, if you meet Bill Gates or Elon Musk or the richest man in Africa, Aliko Dangote, and you have nothing to show for it, and you have nothing to propose to this multi-millionaire, you would have met him, but you cannot necessarily derive the
So
resources
is that
out
not
of
the
it.
extrovertedness he's talking about?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Going out to meet.
That's what I'm saying. I'm linking it to what he's saying.
You okay? You
And
were
it's
saying
not like what
I would
she's
like,
saying.
I would like to share my based on the way I see life presently as things stand. It means that it can change in the future. But the way I see now, I believe more in forceful luck. You understand? Because I realized that every time I was supposed to take an opportunity or address something on time and I did not do it, the negative consequences were very, very heavy on me. You understand?
Yeah.
And every time I did otherwise, it was things went well for me. Even though you have a few times when you plan and you did not, you would not get the results that you want. So for me, I believe that your destiny, in as much as there's a spiritual force behind, but every man's destiny is in his hand. You have the right, you have the power now, to determine all the good things that can happen to you after we leave here. You know very well that you're not supposed to cross the road when a car is moving. If you cross the road when a car is, a car will hit you, and that's bad luck. Simple as
That's
that.
not bad luck. See, you're coming back to the very thing I said in the very beginning.
So it means
I said
there's no bad luck.
No, get it. I said a man that has understanding in the spirit or in the natural will create for himself luck. That's what I said.
But does it mean that okay, like him now, he's not trying to tie his creativity or his effort to church and God and prayer.
Yeah.
He thinks that from within he's going to win it, right?
Yeah.
But it's still the same thing like what you are saying.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
You want to lean on a supreme being to want to will it. But at the end of the day, if you decide to will it, it's going to go. And if you don't will it, hunger by two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the power of the supreme being, I didn't necessarily say that it was God. A babalawo in the village can make you lucky.
How?
Get it?
It's true. It's possible.
No.
No, it's
At
just
least based on one.
No. Okay, now there was something I will not necessarily go to the Bible and read it, and it's a popular verse. But we say the power of life and death is given to the tongue. And Job tells us we shall decree a thing and it shall be made established unto you. And God has Job a question. He said, have you commanded your morning since your day began? It's possible to wake up in the morning and make pronouncements on your day. Not necessarily that you're a spiritist or something. And those pronouncements you have made actually shape the way your day is going to go.
And you
now,
can still make those pronouncements.
and
And then
then
break your leg.
things backfire.
I think if you are company
Yeah.
work, it's going to
Good.
If you
That's
just
where I
wake up
was-
and say,
that's where I was
landlord,
going to.
rent is coming, landlord,
Look,
rent
you
is
know,
coming.
Me now, that's the reason why I believe. That's why I said I believe in forceful love,
You should
because
combine
if
it.
you are more action,
It's
if
what
you
I'm
are
trying
more
to
action
explain.
driven,
Yes.
compared to, because there are people that they don't profess anything to themselves.
Yes.
They know in their mind,
That
in their
working
heart.
for you.
You understand?
Let
They
me
know
say
that
something.
if they work for what they want, they'll get it.
let me say something. The Bible says in much labor there is profit, but the talks of the lips will only turn a man to penury. So I understand, but you see, talking of the lips is what creates allowance for the labor, because there is he that works hard. The Bible says it is hard to wake up early in the morning and to sleep late in the night just to eat the bread of sorrow. It is possible.
Yeah.
Majority of the people in the US are not, for example, wake up early in the morning, have relatives there, and they sleep late in the night, and what they eat is what I call the bread of sorrow. It's because
People in the US.
those who have the
So all of these people who are struggling to play
They want to go and suffer.
I've not played the thing.
Listen,
I have my
do
convictions.
you know that most of what we have been saying here, you're talking about the spiritual being. I want to also make you to understand that. Do you know that science according to science, you understand, to get lucky, science talk about listening to your guts. You understand? Like they give an example of a girl who was being harassed by somebody, by a certain assassin. So the guy harassed the girl, and she simply closed her windows and closed all her doors. The guy saw that there was no way that he could enter there, because he knew that if he started hitting the door, the police would come. So he left. So now the girl, only for a few days after, that very guy that attacked that girl went to another person, and as the person was trying to scream, the guy shot the police and shot that person. Now it now goes back to according to the girl said that she listened to her God, and which was what made her lucky or luckier in that instant. You understand? You have been saying yes, spiritual. There's a spiritual, but yes.
Wait, don't you think that God is your God?
That's not what I'm trying to say.
Because for
That-
me, I listen more to that voice than
To that
God
voice,
anywhere.
good,
Yes,
good,
for me,
good,
it's
good.
God
Yes, that
gave to
voice,
me
yeah.
from
Yes. According to that woman, she said it was a God. I'm assuming that if it is you say, okay, it's a spiritual
Holy
being that
Spirit.
you believe in, that
So-
enabled you. And another principle that science has also said is that to get lucky, you need to think that you are a lucky man. Just like how you said, you can
Think
profess.
positive.
Yes, you can
Yeah,
profess
yeah.
things. Even though me, at that point, I disagree to it because I believe more in thinking critically. Because based on my life experiences, every time I've thought positive without
That's
without
backfired.
thinking about the other side of the coin, it has always backfired on me very big one.
Now,
So it
Which are
made me
critical or
not.
not very critical.
now the Bible
No,
says,
that's why I said that
Now that
after
I-
then,
you know-
I started
Ah,
becoming
okay.
critical now. I was like, if I weigh the positive impact of something on my life, I also weigh
The
the
negative.
negative. And so that if I'm going into it,
You're
I know that,
judging
okay,
both sides.
yes, I can get lucky or I can get unlucky.
Now let me say
as
something.
simple as
The
that.
Bible says, Jesus himself said, who is he that intends to build a house will not sit down first and count the cost to see whether he has what it takes to finish it. Lest he starts and because he's unable to finish, people will start mocking at him. Now that's critical thinking. I'm trying to tell you that a proper understanding of what I call the read book will put you ahead in this life.
Mhm.
Because it's going to teach you that positive thinking is not the key. You have to be critical.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So that's why it boils down to what I said. Science
Mhm.
is discovering something that an eternal being has written on the wall.
Okay.
They cannot rediscover
So
it.
I want to say something. So for in a pastor, when people go to a pastor's church, for example, like most pastors that have been to their church, when they just say, they say, usually during this December period, they'll say next year you make 50 million.
Wow,
Next
Allah.
year you make this. You understand? They'll make those kind of pronouncements
Okay.
to
Let,
you.
let me compare.
Wait, let me
this
say something.
Okay.
You are talking about forceful law.
Yeah.
You are talking about random law.
And
She's talking
and
about.
forceful
She just
law.
Yeah.
She was talking
differentiated.
about both.
Your own law is usual and the spiritual law.
My one is the forceful law. That's what I'm trying to make you understand.
It's still forceful.
It's still forceful law.
So
Because of the Holy Spirit.
So
Yeah.
you,
You know, the Holy Ghost on an individual basis cannot make you lucky.
so all of you know that you can still do all these things like that.
And it's still backfire. You understand? Now, and I think that's the reason why the word luck itself exists. I'm very serious. That's why you can either be lucky
Oh,
or
unlucky.
unlucky. You understand? Because you can still do everything. I know so many people that have done everything right in life. You understand? Just like when I was entering UB, I had one of my teachers. He was always telling us, if you don't drink 3 liters of water every day, if you don't do this one, you will never even reach 50 years. You understand? When I just entered UB, second semester, first year,
Drinking
that man was,
gallon.
no, he died.
He died.
Yes, I'm very serious. I was like, see, when the man was explaining those things to us now, I knew that if somebody was going to die in this life, that would be the last person that would die. You understand? Because he made us understand that he was living the most healthy life. So he told me that he could never get sick, and he does not drink all this Paracet, all those things.
What does it do?
He eats healthy. Only eating healthy was enough for him. You understand? And when I entered UB now, I was shocked. Then I said,
Peter,
I asked myself that
Peter.
what went wrong for that man?
Peter, coming to what you are saying, look at these war-torn countries that don't have good drinkable water and food. They still live and they still thrive. Look at mad people moving on the road. They eat dirty things, they eat all sorts of rubbish, and they still live, and maybe they will even live longer than you. So what do you call it? You call it that grace. You say no, God is.
I will not call it grace.
You say
Okay,
what?
you're not calling Grace
Call it
again.
Linda.
I will not call it Linda. See, the spiritual man is
Uh-huh.
the best example of the spiritual man. Oh, I meant to say the madman is for me the best example of the spiritual man because he has been taken over by a spiritual entity. And
Do
one,
you know that most mad people is hunger that is making them to move like that? It's not actually a mental problem.
I'm telling you.
Wait, so if you are saying they have been taken over by a spiritual entity,
That's
it
not
means
what I
they don't actually have a mental
They
condition.
don't
Yeah.
think. That's what you're trying to say.
Or he's trying to say that the entity in him is the one fostering the mental condition.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
No, but I'm also looking at what you see from a different angle, right? It's like if you are really spiritual to the point where you detach yourself from all these realities, people in the world will look at you like a madman. That's my angle. I'm not necessarily that's what he's saying.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
saying
yeah.
that in this life, when you see a madman, at times I admire them because they don't wear clothes, they eat from the dustbin, they're not looking for a job, but for some reason
They are still alive.
they are alive, they are eating, they are sleeping, they're not paying rent, no policeman is harassing them, they're just living their life. They don't care about this world.
But-
But most of us, the strings are tying us is because they're thinking, oh, my friends say, I want to wear
Oh,
the
this.
shoe, I want to. But he's
this,
just living like the birds in the wild and the trees.
And
Nature is
trying
just
to-
taking charge of him.
Yeah,
And
So is it luck or
So,
grace?
no.
No, I think I don't know about
I think it's a mentality with the spirit.
Okay.
Now, if you try, You were talking about pastors making pronouncement. When you go to the village, and a babalawo tells
You know we're talking about pastors making pronouncements.
How the
it
person
was
has
not
said,
you
yeah.
and the babalawo tells you, because you have killed this fowl, you kill the fowl first, and after 2 minutes the fowl will disappear in front of your eyes. And the babalawo tells you that as you're going like that, you cannot, even if you're selling with tangy water, not tangy sachet water, you're going to prosper. See, that pronouncement made babalawo, even if, because you have seen that goat disappear, you go bold. If somebody tries you on the road, and these are things that happen. These are things that happen.
Look at it now. Look at it from the consequence part of it.
No, wait,
Will you actually get rich? Will you get luckier?
You get rich.
Not actually the consequence.
That's what I'm looking at.
No, you get rich, but if you don't sell that pure water, you are not going to get rich.
No, the way you're explaining is the way I understand how rituals and all these things work now. You don't actually work much for the money. That's the way I understand.
You don't work much, but you work.
Because the amount of money
I'm
you
a
get,
ritualist.
Yeah,
I'm
the
a
amount of-
ritualist, but I don't think that
it is the
They-
consequence.
Do you know the number of
the
hours
forces
a scammer
of
spends
nature
on
now.
you?
Do you know any ritualists who has not worked hard in his ritual?
No, I don't know any
Just
ritualist.
believe me, ritualists work very hard.
they work very hard like you.
So I'm telling you that
True.
in as much as you must have a spiritual backing, boy,
You
there
must
is
have
some
physical
But,
will.
Yes.
but why do you
Yes.
work so hard and get the amount of money you get? Why don't you just use that effort and do the
That's just to tell you that even if you not go to that babalawo, you just believe from
In yourself.
You
And you
you
walk
make-
like
And that's the reason why somebody
Physical-
told me that most of the people that are involved in rituals and the rest that are rich today, they were already destined to be rich.
Exactly,
before.
yeah.
Even before they went there.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't know what pushed
Now,
them to
human
go
beings,
there.
we need that reinforcement to tell you that it will
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, it will
happen.
We just need that emotional consolation, I think.
So it means
So-
there's not actually any spiritual backing, just some motivational speaker dressed in babalawo clothes.
No, I believe it's a
Look,
blend
what
of
he's
both.
saying is that now, look, sometimes now people just need to be told that you'll be great
You'll
for
be
them to
great for
believe.
them.
You understand?
Yeah.
Even if it was your destiny, you find so many people that are like, bro, am I going to make it? And even if in their destiny they are supposed to, so because of that insecurity, they now start going to babalawo and pastors, and then pastor now reinforce that feeling inside them, and you find them becoming rich, and then they start saying, no, it's the pastor that made them.
You got me
rich.
wrong at some points. You got me, because what you're saying now, you're neglecting the influence of the pronouncement. That pronouncement has a lot to do. Have you ever gone to go and buy something in the market and you want to buy tomato and you cross this woman selling tomato, you cross this woman selling tomato, you cross this woman selling tomato, and you come and see the other woman?
Yes,
No,
many times.
No, not necessarily because maybe that one gives you more than this one, but there is just something that makes
That's their gods that science has told
No,
us.
but honestly, right, if you scientifically look at it, there will be one factor. It might be that
Yeah.
woman is a beautiful girl. It
What?
might be that
The
Mama
tomato,
is a girl.
yes.
It might be that
You
because
understand?
Yeah, I understand.
We
We understand.
understand.
Now that's what I'm trying to
Factor,
say,
that
that
God.
there is a blend of both. You cannot say hard work alone will make you have it. There are guys working hard that doesn't
What
doesn't
they
end
I
this
say,
up.
my brother, Elon Musk is an atheist. He does not believe in any spiritual nothing.
There's a
He's the richest man in the world. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying? I'm telling you, Dana. I believe that it's possible. Because if you look at the world today, most of the successful people in
You
the world
think
today,
they don't believe
listen,
in anything?
most of the successful people in the world today, at least they are telling us, Dana, they don't believe in any spiritual force.
That's what I
They don't believe. Yes, that's what at
No,
least
but
I
they
know that
are
are telling us.
They do.
You understand?
There's no man.
Even though I believe as well, Dana, all of us were created by a spiritual being.
Yeah.
We did not just emanate from somewhere. You understand? And that spiritual being is there to guide us. But at the end of the day, you have to take that decision as an individual to get up and go and sell that pure water
Exactly.
to become rich. You
To
understand?
become rich,
So it's
yeah.
a blend of the both.
That's
So
what I'm
I want us to
So-
I want us to now answer this question. So does luck exist or not?
I think it does.
Me, I believe that luck
Create
exists.
your
eh.
luck.
No, I
You
think
can
I think
you create
understand
I
me.
stand
luck
by
exists.
women. You create your luck.
See,
You
Peter,
understand?
Yeah,
it's the phenomenon that has been happening that we have coined it as luck.
exactly.
Yeah, but it is something that exists like the way what we have been discussing here, and we have coined it as luck. So actually, luck does exist,
Luck
and as
exists
well
for
as
me,
there's also the
1000%.
good part of luck and there's a bad part
Bad
of
side of luck.
luck. Because
yeah.
I actually get up in the morning, you pray that, Papa God, let me go outside and win today. And you go outside and you just smash a fly or something. You just enter a gutter and you break your leg.
Even that's why they say there's a word good luck and bad luck.
And bad
Yes.
luck
So that-
exists in
So
itself. I believe that luck
in essence,
exists.
luck exists. But
Yes.
sitting down and be waiting for luck will not do it.
Of course. Even though there are people, you see, it's
You
not about
know,
probability.
wait.
There are people that have sat like that, Joshua, that have sat like that, have not done anything, and money still came and
Uh-huh.
You understand? So
Now, the
now
question is, how will you know if you are just sitting down is the other one who meet you?
that's the question.
See,
just start moving.
You understand?
I've had too
Indeed.
many experiences of luck.
Indeed.
That of what you call luck. I've had too many, like just so many experiences like that. Just like to a point that me, I will not attribute it to luck. I know whom I have believed, and I'm persuaded that he's able to commit that, to keep that has been committed unto him unto the last day. So my life is committed to his spirit. That is what I walk by, and he has worked for me.
No, but for me, right, don't change. As long as it's working for you, stay
Fine.
there. If Elon Musk is working for you, stay
You
there.
understand?
I personally
The
believe that
problem
all
is when
those
somebody
guys
and
believe
you know that
something.
you are in church and you are very poor. That's where for me it's a start.
Yeah.
It's working for you.
Yeah.
Good.
See, we should not. That my emphasis. We should not blame God for those who are in church and are not prospering.
Now blame the pastors, not God.
Of course.
Because the word of God.
the pastors as well as the people in
The people have decided to
Yeah,
be gullible.
yes, partly
There are
that.
so many people have decided to be gullible, have decided to be
Yeah.
manipulated.
Because from God's
That's how
word,
we are
I read so today. It brings balance to everything. But because of many people are gullible, they tend to tilt it to suit that particular interest. So my advice for everyone listening to me is go for the word. Go for it. Learn, study, and you will find direction for everything you need in life. That's my advice.
So before we end everything, Marino,
Yes.
tell us what you have in mind. We have been
I have
discussing
been
it back and
contributing
forth.
that.
She said,
Okay, let me ask you something.
It's for forceful love.
yes,
yeah,
Okay, I'm
which is
first
actually
floor.
what I also
Create
said.
your own luck.
Yeah, you
This is actually what I also said.
Actually, all of us said that you have to be.
Wait, so all of us have a first floor.
Yes.
So I'm only the person on random law.
Yes.
You're not be able to defend your random luck point.
You
No,
understand?
I'm defending it. They don't say you can get to the money and somebody, he was saying that you can get to the money and someone just dash you 10,000. That was the first definition he gave as how luck is supposed to look like.
Yes.
So-
So, like,
So for me, that's what I think luck looks like. But now, if like to maximize your chance of getting more luckier, then you have to start
To force.
to force it.
Force it. Yeah.
But
true.
but then there's also a situation where you're talking about destiny. In your timeline, you might have a series of lucky situations on your timeline.
Yes.
But now the fact that you forcefully want to have more of those lucky situations, they have to now work to like create a different timeline of many lucky situations.
Talking about time, let me just
Wrap it up.
I will wrap it in. There are two things. There are many words interpreted time from the Greek and the Hebrew. There's the word chronos and there's the word kairos. Chronos is the daily life. The kairos is the opportune time, the time for which you are set to manifest. For example, a student being on UB, for every day is a chronos, but the time for the exam is kairos. It is in kairos that you say that how to translate it is the end that justifies the
Yes,
means.
because some of us don't
Now-
know French.
Okay. Is the end that justifies the means. So that particular end is what I call kairos.
Okay.
Now, if throughout your chronos you don't do something significant, when kairos come, I read the first scripture I read told us that time and chance happens to all of them. When that time comes to give you the opportunity to then manifest or to showcase what you have to the world, to give you the opportunity to be lucky, if you have not maximized your chronos, even when all the lights and projectors are pointed out to you, you will not be able to take advantage of it.
Okay,
So,
okay.
to wrap it up,
Yeah, continue.
use your kairos to prepare for your
or
lifetime.
in English, you just work hard.
Every day.
To make sure you are ready for love.
So that is just for us to look at luck as the way it can, because we cannot really say we cannot really predict what's going to happen to you at the next possible moment.
Yeah.
So that's where now you say luck actually exists, because you might want to do something and something else happens. And like my phone has fallen inside water. I'm still saying it because
okay.
I look at that situation as
That's so unlucky.
yes, I look at the situation as an unlucky situation.
So what kairos did you have?
as well as I can say it's partly my fault, because if I would have not held the phone at that time, but you can also predict these things. So I want to say let's end it here. We have listened to what everybody has said about luck and actually does luck exist and whatever. And I know people have also agreed that luck actually exists, and there's the good side, there's the bad side, there's forceful luck, and there's random luck. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, so I would like you guys to pick it up in the comment section. Does luck actually exist? What do you think about luck? Do you think that grace, or maybe grace, is better than luck? I think because that's where Joshua was
Or
going
maybe it's the
driving
same
to.
thing.
Or maybe it's the same
Oh,
thing.
maybe it's the same.
Yeah, so pick it up in the comment section, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.